So what do you need to get this job done? Well, nothing more than what you see right here. You need a 10 millimeter something. So you can actually get this whole job done technically with a 10 millimeter wrench, although it'll take a little bit of time, a little more annoying. You could use a 10 millimeter deep and shallow socket. You wouldn't need both because there is some bolts you can't use the deep, but some you'll need the deep. So you can use that, or you can even use a combination like a 10 millimeter deep and a wrench, whatever you want to use. You just need some 10 millimeters to get this job done. All right, so we'll start off with removing the negative terminal, and then we'll go to the positive. You can see this is supposed to be all attached. You see it's broken there, it's just hanging from me, but you know, that should just flip up, and then you'll have your positive terminal nut there. And then up here, let me just adjust, you'll have a bolt that holds on to the ECU, and then the two hold down bracket bolts. So you always start off with the negative side first. This is so when you're loosening up the negative, if you should happen to contact any part of the body of the car or anything like that, you're not going to get a nice little shock. If you do the positive side, technically there's nothing really around on this car, but any car in general, just as a safety precaution, always do negative first, because if you're positive and you hit the body of the car or a metal grounded piece or something like that, you can get a shock. If you do the negative side, you cannot. So you always do negative first, and then we'll move to the positive. Now you'll see that I cannot get my deep socket. The deep socket, you only really need for the hold down bracket, although I did use it for the negative. A shallow socket, or the one I was using here for the positive, won't work for those hold downs. That threaded rod is too long. But you'll need the shallow for sure, because the air box is in the way for the positive there. It actually gets into the way of the air box. So this is where you need the deep. Now I've noticed something here. Now I've never changed a battery on this car yet. My battery is still working okay. I'm making this video for the viewers, for people who need it, but my battery is still working fine. But I've noticed that all the hold down brackets or anything are all very loose. I never really inspected it, never checked it, but all this stuff is not tightened correctly at all. So when I put back in, I'll be tightening everything up. You can see that was not even put in at all. Like, it was just kind of barely in, just a couple threaded bits. This, you can see, look how easily that bracket is moving around. I haven't like pre-loosened anything, nothing like that. So it's kind of weird. I did skip ahead there, other than you guys see me. It just takes like a minute, but why have a minute of me just undoing the same nut? So, you know, I did that one there and lifted off. Now, these threaded rods, you'll see it here. They should not be able to come out very easily. They can come out and fall, but they're normally held in with like a little plastic clip at the bottom, I believe. So I just check them and give them a wiggle and make sure they're still in there firm. As long as they don't come out, then you can just leave them kind of just sitting there. But if you do give them a wiggle and they're very loose, or they come out very, very loose, not loose like you see here, but very loose, or they come out entirely, keep an eye on them. You don't want them to fall. Same thing here. I just jumped ahead on the clip a bit. You know, I'm sure you guys don't want to see me just, you know, loosening the same nut all the way through on that long little thread there. So I kind of jumped ahead a bit. But, you know, you get the idea. Showing just the last little bit of screwing here. All right, and you take off the bracket again. Give it a little tug just to make sure it's nice and secure in there. Showing you guys, see. So it'll move as long as it doesn't come out. See that little white, I don't know if you saw it briefly there, that little white clip. Anyways, you move the bracket out, and the battery should just lift right out. You grab it, and you just lift. Now, note here that mine doesn't have it. Again, when this was replaced by the previous owner, I suppose. Mine's, you know, I bought used. There should be a battery cover around that you'll have to remove and put around the new battery. Mine does not have one. So whoever replaced this battery prior to myself got rid of it, or whatever the case is. You want to keep that on there. It's just additional insulation for the battery. As you can see, I'm just showing you, just lifts straight out. You should have no problem. It's heavy, of course, so keep that in mind, but, you know, just lifts straight up and out. Then you put your new battery in. And the first thing I'll do is I'll put the hold down bracket, but I don't tighten everything up. I just put it, see the battery, these little rods and everything are flexible. They can move around, not, you know, they're still metal rods, but you can move them around as you need to. The battery cables are thicker, so I'd rather get those fully installed first. So right now I'm just putting the hold down bracket on and just thread the nuts on. but I'm not tightening anything up yet. You'll see it here. Just put that on. Just kind of get everything into place. And put the nut on. Make sure you don't cross thread or anything like that. There you go. And I'm not tightening anything up at all. Just, you know, kind of hand tight essentially. It still can move around, everything like that. And then I'll kind of pre-thread this one in. And then same for the back one over here. And those ones, you can see a little bit of that smoke that's actually mist from my mouth. It was a kind of a chilly day. When I started this and I said I was going to record this video, actually the weather wasn't too bad, but it was kind of early, very late winter, early spring. And then by the time I got just this far in, the temperature dropped dramatically. So all of a sudden you could see my breath. It's kind of funny. So now we put the positive on. Now there's no torque specification for these bolts here. So you just go until they're good and tight. Like, you know, you get them to a good tight spot. Give it like another kind of quarter turn. Make sure it's good. You don't want to go too tight, snap anything or break anything. But you'll see here it starts getting kind of hand tight. See, tightening it up here. See, it's getting. Oop! I dropped my camera, by the way. So we're back, and just kind of good and tight. And make sure when you're done. You see that's why I can't even use the deep socket. The shallow one had trouble getting out there because the air box is there. But make sure you grab your terminal after, give it a tug, make sure it's on firm. Also, this is a good time if you have this off and you notice any corrosion or buildup. Gets a file. I didn't do it again for this video. This is just for showing the basics of it. But you can file down some of your connectors to give it a better, cleaner connection if you feel like there's a lot of corrosion needs to be done or anything. Once again, tighten it up and that's good. This one also doesn't have any torque specification, this bolt here. So basically I did it until it was tight, right? Same idea. Basically, as soon as it gets more or less hand tight, just stop and that's it. Now these ones, the hold down brackets do have a torque specification. It is 35 inch-pounds. 35 inch-pounds is nothing. It is pretty much hand tight. So you can go hand tight with it. But if you want to know the specifics, it is 35 inch-pounds. I always recommend always going to torque spec if you can. If I had the torque specs for the terminals and stuff, I'd give you that too. But there does not seem to be any torque specs for it that I could find. So do that one there. And then we do this one here, and then that's it. You're finished. All done. New battery in. And keep in mind that if you had to change your battery, you may have to reset certain things in your car, certain settings and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. So other than that, hopefully this video helps you out. Thank you everyone for watching. I do appreciate all the support out there. Don't forget to throw a like on that video if it helped you, if you found the information useful, anything like that. Make sure to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, help the channel grow, and hit the notification if you want to see more of my videos. If you dislike the video, that's okay, no problem at all, but don't be a troll, alright? Make sure you put why in the comments. I mean, maybe I missed something, maybe I got something wrong, maybe there's something you feel better or you didn't like how I filmed. Whatever it is, put it in there. I make these videos to help people out, so I can only make it better if I get the feedback, but I need the feedback. Just don't be trolling, alright? Otherwise, if you have any other comments, feel free to do so. I answer questions whenever I can. If you want to add something on there, if you have a helpful tip that maybe I didn't cover, I didn't even know about, make sure to put that in the comments as well. I want to thank everyone, and I will see you all next video.